not deceive. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sound of arms, fierce morality. Nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We have come into the night, thunder raising war at night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Shield wall. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Welcome everyone to Valhalla Esports. I'm Hailstorm, joined by Janau. How you doing, Janau?
Well, doing good.
And we will be casting the Ultralords versus Titan Gaming Mux here for our quarterfinals in our playoffs bracket. Here we can see the bracket. We've got Titan Gaming Mux versus the Ultralords. Also playing tonight will be the Rolling Stoners versus Night Raid Owls, Big Wheel versus Titan's Wrath, and Goat Kings versus Velocity Gaming. And hopefully I'll be able to stream all those games this week so we can see all the playoff action. And
Yeah, really excited.
we'll jump into the matchup here. And you got any feelings on these teams? Any lanes you're going to be looking at that you think will be pivot points for either team to try to win?
I'm actually really excited to see Kazuto play bot lane because as far as I've known him, I've only ever seen him play mid or top. So that's going to be interesting to see how he pairs up with Jad's dad.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm thinking about looking at Vixper in the jungle. I think he's going to bring something special to the team. Probably Udyr, but something special regardless.
He does like that Udyr, though. He's also had some good games on the Zac, and generally I see him on the tankier jungles, but usually he's able to put some pressure out on the map. We'll have to see how Flimsy Fence and Zabel's lane goes. Zabel's trying to contain Flimsy and keep him from being a huge impact on the game.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup in and itself. I do believe the skill disparity in like ranks is a very big jump, right?
It's a fair jump. Like, Flimsy's hit Masters, I believe, and Zabel, I think, is in Plat.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how he holds.
Definitely playable. It's gotta be very respectful and not let Flimsy get too big a lead, otherwise he will snowball effectively.
I agree. Containment zone. I also am gonna wonder how Naya is going to come up with the sub in the mid lane. See what kind of champions he brings to the team roster, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta see what kind of ADCs Kazuto pulls out, or if he tries to play any of the AP carries in that bot lane.
I feel like he's gonna play like some sort of just utility AD carry, right? Like since he's like such a big mage player, probably like Ashe or Varus or some along those lines, if not mages, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like it could be one. I know Naya, otherwise known as Joker, last time Max for most people because he changes his name like every week.
Every week.
But really likes that Gangplank. If it's up, I'm sure he would take Gangplank mid. Does like a fair amount of those 80 champs in the mid lane as well. So it could be a time where he could play an 80 mid if Kazuto does want to opt for an AP carry in the bot lane.
Yeah,
And if the Cassiopeia is up, that champion does pretty well bot anyways. So it could be an angle for them to look at, but it'll depend on what Titan Gaming Mux want to ban away.
true, true. I hope Bentage holds up, you know. He keeps it real. Does some swift justice on Naya,
Yeah.
Max, Joker.
For sure. Ventus has been holding down pretty well this season, so he's just got to keep it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I'm excited.
Blitzkrieg calling out good luck to all the combatants. Indeed, good luck to everyone. These are still best of threes. We don't have any best of fives until the finals. And ideally, when those games get streamed, we'll have an earlier start time since it has the potential to go quite late.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on my walk home. I was like, 5 games is gonna be brutal, bro.
Yeah, luckily there's only 1 week where that can happen, and hopefully we start earlier so it doesn't get too late for both the
True, true.
players and the casters and everyone watching. Here, I just got tossed the giraffe screen, so we'll toss it over there for when they actually start up this draft.
Oh yeah, draft. Love me some draft. I'm really curious if they're gonna draft for strong side bot or top for Ultra Lords. Otherwise it has to be Nia, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, for them, they won't have the counter this time. I think they'll try to secure a fairly strong bot lane, or at least one that can scale well, and then look to give Nia a counter matchup, or at least a good matchup. Where I'm sure in this game he'll play whatever he wants, because he'll feel confident being into Bentage, and we'll see if Bentage can punish that or not.
Oh, they let out with the Udyr. No Udyr for Vixper. That's gotta feel bad, man.
Feels bad indeed. But taking away that Trist from Titan Gaming, Arma likes Tristana a lot. Or actually, no, they were the one who banned away. Well, it would be a flex then between Nia and Kazuto, so still a good ban, since both of
True,
them can
true.
definitely play that champion.
Ooh,
Take
the
me that
KO.
Kale. Don't want to give
I
Flimsy a hyper late game scaler.
I kind of understand that, especially like being such a high ranked player and just Kalen itself having the opportunity to just carry almost any fight.
Oh yeah,
Ever since the change to her ultimate, where she can alt and auto in the ultimate, it's made her like really good.
yeah, agreed. And also, she's deceptively powerful, like levels 1 through 3,
Yeah,
when
in
you
lane.
have lethal tempo, because you just get it stacked and can basically 1v1 most champions in the top lane. It's kind of
Yeah,
ridiculous because she's
but
supposed to be weak early, but can still do that.
they never expect it either.
Right. And taking away the Gnar, another good ban away from Flimsy. Very, very good on that champion. And then the Gangplank and Yone taken away from Nia once again, so just trying to shut down that mid lane pool.
Yeah, I've played against Snars or Flimsy Snar. It's not fun. I don't
Yeah,
like it at all.
it's quite good
It's
on it.
quite, yes.
Now we'll see what this first pick ends up being. Looking like the Zaya for Ultra
Yep.
Lords. Definitely a solid ADC currently, and also very safe and self-sufficient.
Especially, she's definitely more of a control-y AD carry too. Like I figured they were gonna go with Kazuto, more controlling AD carry.
Yeah, sets up your own CC, has your own peel. I feel like it's one Katsuto would like.
Yes, sir.
See what Titan Gaming responds with. Looking like the Aphelios.
The Aphelios. I'm interested. They piqued my interest.
Yep, definitely very strong champion. One of the ones where Riot says we balance it around controlling your guns, but generally if you have either the red or the white gun up, Aphelios does ridiculous damage. So let's see how Ultralords play around it if they want to try to get them down early or anything.
Secretly, my combo is actually the green white guns.
Yeah. The white guns are
Yeah.
ridiculous for damage.
Always, always, always.
And the Lulu, so we got that nice Enchanter support to enable that Aphelios. Got the Nautilus, most likely support.
Is it just me, or does it look like they're drafting a strong side bot side for Ultralords?
They could be, because right now if they have a good engager in the support with that Nautilus, so if they have a good ganker, could be looking for some early picks.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that, especially since, Kazuto is obviously not an AD carry player. He can play it, but he's not predominantly, right?
This will just be the breakout ADC game for Kazuto. All the years of playing mid were all just a lie. And a Poppy. Is KB in this game?
Ooh,
Where'd that come from?
KB, where are you? I'm excited. I hope this is the jungle poppy, just for KB Jelly.
Right. Yeah, it could be jungle, could be top. If you want to blind your top and grab a Poppy, not a terrible choice. Just helps that it's still kind of hidden. And then it looks like a Trundle. I would guess that's for Vixper in the jungle. Trundle's not bad against Poppy.
I feel like it's a double flex, honestly. I feel like they're flexing Poppy between top and jungle now, and Trundle between top and jungle, and whoever picks the most better, matchup takes it, which will probably be red side since they have counter pick.
Yeah, and then Blitz calling out it could be support Poppy and jungle not, so we never know exactly where those champs are going.
Blitz, but see, you forgot top knot.
And top knot. He's great, other than his damage doesn't scale. And
Yeah,
then the Swain banned away from Titan Gaming Mox. Still want to have that kind of CC healing mid laner. Redectin taken away by Ultralords.
Well, they definitely think that's Vixper playing Trundle.
Yeah. It would be my guess. I haven't really seen Fence play Trundle much, but not to say he couldn't, since Trundle's very straightforward.
Roll your face on keyboard, did kill.
You right click him and you Q whatever it's up,
As played by my top laner.
True. Really, you can only really show your skill on Trundle when you land a good pillar, and people go, "Whoa, look at that pillar."
True, I'll have to agree with you.
And
There's
then,
nothing like getting a Yasuo ulti up a pillar.
The Yasuo ban from Titan Gaming Mux. Don't want to see that for Joker or Nia, Max, whoever.
A person who is in this game.
We're gonna have to make a new rule specifically for Max that he can't change his name every week. And the Darius is taken away.
Ooh, he gets called one name and he has to pick it now.
Right. So trying to take away more of those bully top laners. We'll see what they pick up here. I would guess they're gonna pick up the mid laner here, but
Camille.
we'll see.
I don't know why, but I feel like Camille.
The Aatrox. Alright, just saying. I want to be the big Darkin in the top lane.
Alright. If I was Ultralords here, I'd definitely take Poppy top lane now.
Yep, Poppy's not bad in the Aatrox. You can block him when he goes for that dash Q combo. Poppy does like to build a lot of armor, so kind of is fine into that matchup. But looking like they want the Cassante.
Star walking!
For Star walking, we're pulling it out for Tactic.
Tactic, where are you?
So many top bans indeed, Timberland.
Yet so many top champions coming out.
And yet. And we'll see what the final pickup is for Ultralords. See what Naya wants to play. Oh, and they switched
The
it up. Here they
Pia.
have the Cassiopeia. So here it could actually be a flex. They could send Zaya mid, and they could keep Cassio bot for Kazuto. So we'll have to see where those two carries end up.
I did play against Zaya mid last week,
It's not bad.
and I got to tell you, I wanted to punch my monitor.
And the Xerath for the mid lane, so going for that long range poke no matter who they're up against for vintage.
I feel like that's a pretty good pick, just to stabilize their draft.
Yeah, they have a lot of all-in with the Trundle and Aatrox blend. A lot of sit back and deal out the damage with Phelios and Xerath and Lulu just to keep people healthy.
They're going to be
Meanwhile-
looking for predominantly front to back.
Yeah, meanwhile a lot of dive from the Ultra Lords and just hoping the Cassio can spam ease on the backside. But how you feeling about these teams? I'll get that vote out there so people can predict who's gonna win.
Personally, I'm a fan of Ultra Lords because they brought out Star Walking. Just straight up Star Walking, as well as Poppy. I'm excited to see this game, honestly.
Right.
There's so many of my favorite champions in this game: Aphelios, Zaya, Poppy, Cassante, Aatrox. It doesn't get better.
Yeah, we all good. But we got that prediction poll up. Get your votes in if you have a team you want to win or a team you think the draft is better on. We'll see who can pull out this game number 1 victory. As
I'm
we
all
have
in on Ultra Lords.
the fight to make it to semifinals. What's up, TJ?
It's my boy,
Star Edge now.
the TJ. What are you starring at me, boy? Oh, because he's Star Walking?
True.
Ah, yes.
Straight Star Walking. I'll be interested to see how this draft, if they do put the Zaya mid, or if they keep Cass mid.
Me too. I'm kind of sad though. I kind of wanted to see Vix Pursuit here.
Oh yeah? Oh, yeah.
I've been bullied by it enough to know that I don't want to see it, but I want to see it hurt other people.
they heard you talking, they knew they had to ban it away.
My bad. I shouldn't have jinxed him like that.
Gave
You
away
can
the
report me.
sauce.
We'll get to see pretty soon who's going where.
See if I can pull up Twitch on my phone so I can get my points voted.
Who are you voting for?
I do like this Ultra Lords draft, so I think I'm gonna go with them.
One of us.
Toss them. Give them like 2k. Predict.
Ooh.
Bop. Because I feel like they have a lot of nice all-in. They have a lot of good follow-up and sustained damage from the cast. Looking like that cast will be in the mid lane.
They have good damage spread as well because Poppy does mixed damage, no?
Yeah. She's pretty
Yeah.
mixed. Cassante ends up just doing true damage when it goes all out.
Yes,
and then Zaya can dump it out and keep herself safe. So I think
if you're
unless
ready
they
for it,
find
it's
some
gonna
good
start
picks or just get ahead, it's gonna be hard in the team fighting phase for Titan Gaming. It'll mainly be reliant on just either Aatrox being huge or Aphelios being able to deal all that damage as they team fight.
Yes,
And then we'll
sir.
have to see how Vintage does when he's sniping people.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see someone get Star Walked. I really am, because it's like my highlight of any day. And you know I'm gonna yell it. I'm gonna yell Star Walking. You know, it just has to happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
It looks like it's just gonna be a normal draft with Kazuto playing Zaya.
True that. They could still trade until 30 seconds, but generally people just pick their champions, so we'll see if they're trying to be tricksy or not.
Unless you're Battle of the Bulge and then you swap 27 times.
Yeah.
and then you
Sometimes
get
you just gotta
blocked.
bamboozle them, you know? But while we wait to get into the game, if anybody's around with their Prime available and they want to toss it our way, we will love you for 30 days. Also, look down below. You can see all the links to the YouTube and the merch if you're interested in any of that. And
Check it out.
we're gonna toss it to a quick break while we wait for ourselves to load it into the game. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Bye.
The moon in the night shines bright like the sun. Crimson silhouettes burning like wood. Slowly we creep while family sleep. King was awoke with cries. As the arrows fall, as the gates fall down, they will drown in fear. I will find you like a wolf in the night. Run, you can die. The enemy is hunting you tonight. Run, you can try. Escape the death that comes for you alive. It's only you and I. So stand your ground and fight. Run, time to die. Draw your blade, you demon oblivion. A double-edged sword like the tongues we tell. Tales of a legend that the king once fell. Ravens flee and the darkness scream. Reign of the king has died. As the arrows fall, as the gates fall down, they will drown in fear. I will find you like a wolf in the night. Run, you can die. The enemy is hunting you tonight. Run, you can try. Escape the death that comes for you alive. It's only you and I. So stand your ground and fight. Run, time to die. Draw your blade, you demon oblivion. Run, time to die. Draw your blade, you demon oblivion.
Alright. We are back and should be getting into this game shortly.
Hi,
Hopefully you all got your votes in and are ready for some League of Legends action.
I know I did. I need to make that bank.
Get
It
that
needs
money
to happen. Ooh, cash, dollar bill, yo.
go.
I'm really excited to see this top lane matchup, especially since Cassante is being played. I can't stress enough.
Yeah, it's one I think as long as Zabel's able to dodge some or most of the Qs from Aatrox, should do well into, and I think he scales really hard. Just has to kind of be wary early. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun matchup to watch. Should be a lot of skirmishing, and we'll see how the Zolmorn versus Vixper jungle goes, who can apply the pressure on the map.
Yes, sir. And what are these Fright Night skins? They look so cool. Did they redo the splash arts or something? I've never seen them before.
I think these are some of the newer ones.
Okay, they
Like
look super cool.
I know
Especially, but
I know Trundles came out recently.
Okay. I also haven't seen the DRX skin yet, so. Okay, that's sick. That's super cool.
Oh,
Throws
yeah,
wallet at screen.
the drip tracks skin.
And throws wallet at screen, 100%.
Looking like,
Looks like
we're gonna get an invade out of the Ultra Lords. See if they catch Armor sleeping or not.
a standard start for the other team, though.
When
That
you get
box there.
spotted out on that ward, good to place and then walk away to keep yourself safe. And get a little bit of poke down actually from Vintage.
The Comet coming out, the extra damage, the
Yep.
Trueborn.
And he should have mana flow, I would guess. So has plus 25 mana as well. And
Always worth it.
Vixper ran up as the enemy team wasn't in the way and got a ward down on the enemy blue buff, so we'll know exactly where Poppy is starting.
Beautiful to see. Some early game presence, especially since I'd have to guess that Ultra Lords is going to be playing bot side, especially around Kazuto, now playing this Zaya
Really
with
sorry,
Dauntless.
I didn't change the screens for you. Here, now you can actually see the game.
Well,
There we go. It's alright, all you missed was warding, so you're good.
true though. Huh. Very standard starts coming out.
I just wanted to make it like a radio cast where you just had to listen to what we said to know what was going on.
Oh, keeping it old school. The only way to go, though. Oh, some early trading coming out from top side.
Yep, we got the adopted twin brother and the Cassante trying to stack up those Qs.
I'm so glad someone else sees Cassante as another Wind Brother. Just
Oh,
a darker version.
He's 100% a win brother, like literally the way his champion works.
Thank you! I had a discussion with someone about this the other day, and they just would not have it. And I was like, but he stacks twice, and then he throws Wind.
Yeah, his Q works the exact same as the other two. He has mana, but he basically doesn't have mana on his Q.
Pretty much. Early trading going in the way of Cassiopeia against Vantage. It's difficult, but I mean the mana difference is going to be coming in clutch for Bentage.
Yeah, for sure. Basically,
Okay.
Zerath has infinite mana from his passive where he gets it back.
True. And unless you're lasting on Cassiopeia, you don't get that mana back, so
And he actually started tier, so he's stacking up that mana pool but doesn't get the refund on kills. We see Poppy looking for the top lane. And gets the W off after the dash comes out, but gets stunned up by the Cassante. Still getting some damage down as Vixter is walking up on the Trundle. Might be able to turn this. A good dash out by Zolmorn to avoid the chains pull, but now Trundle here with the pillar, gets the shield down from Cassante, but is flashing and chomps. A nice last hit with the shield to not go down for Poppy, but Zabel does fall to save the jungler.
Flimsy played that like a monster. He was fighting 1v2 even at the deficit, and then Vixper comes in to secure the kill after trading a little on Zolmorn. It's such a big lead for them, especially as a 2v2 matchup. Poppy needs to be ahead in that 2v2 in order to actually insert pressure, but now that she's behind,
And
thanks
will now
to-
get double scuttled, but yes, agreed, very well played there from Flimsy. I think if Zolmorn had activated the W before the dash went off, he could have gotten the dash stun off as well, and they might have picked up that kill, but couldn't quite connect.
yeah, we see Vantage and Nia 1v1ing in the mid lane, but the mana deficit, he can't do damage with that, especially with Vixper now hovering as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely he's looking to just... I think he's looking to get that last chapter by. A nice hook in from Jad's dad, gets a little bit of damage onto Trinity, but don't have too much follow-up from Kazuto, and now he's getting traded back on a lot harder. Loses about half his health. And
It's really good.
Looking for that back now, getting poked out by Zerath.
It's really good for Arma and Trinity to notice their trading windows, especially when Kazuto is not holding the triangle formation.
Oh, get the heal out from Kazuto and the root into the flank from Jadstad's to get the auto, but now not in range to really do damage. And a huge minion wave helping kill Jadstad. Arma picking up that kill. Trinity will not burn down to ignite and get the 1 for 0 in the 2v2 bot lane.
Yeah, Jadstad extended a little bit too much. Oh, and the
wow.
pull back.
That was unlucky for Zabel. Thought he dashed out of that, but still gets pulled back.
That's rough. Yeah, Jadstad sang a little bit too much in that fight. After the trade, he should have maybe
we got
just backed
Poppy
up.
trying to pick up Arma, but ghosts away and will not get picked up. But now they're getting some nice trade back down onto that Poppy. So just really well played here from Arma and Trinity.
I guess you just can't gank that duo apparently. And was that a Cassiopeia R coming out from Cassiopeia?
Looks like it was. Not sure what had caused it, but now Zabel getting dove under Fence, picking up that solo bolo kill in the top lane. Becoming that scary top laner that he needs to be.
What a good combo.
A good
Jab
counter
just
kill in
waited.
the bot lane. Zolmar getting the stun down.
Jad's dad just waited for the Lulu to show, and then got the...
Naya running at Vintage and Flash ghosting, but now taken down.
The Bentage!
Vintage getting under tower to stay safe and picks up his own solo bolo kill against Naya. This man is a beast.
I gotta be honest, I did not expect this lane going this way, but I'm impressed. Color me impressed.
It's a pretty nice one there, and like had a slight mistake walking up to the bush, letting the casket on him, but the range advantage is so massive, he's able to trade really well and picks up his own kill.
Especially having the knowledge to actually walk under your tower and ult, rather than just ulting in front of the person.
Right.
I see it all the time. And it's just so much smarter to walk to tower. And I appreciate that he did.
Yeah. Like we said, Bench has been looking great this season, he's got to keep it up.
The salary increase when?
It's gonna have to be next season. See how they close out the season. Ooh, and gets the chain down, tries to CC, resist it, but goes down to all the Qs hitting on the Aatrox and another solo bolo to Flimsy.
That's unfortunate. He mistimed it. I think if he actually timed it correctly, he would have got out safely there.
Yeah, just a lot of things got to time out, unfortunately, against this Aatrox right now. Got Zixper hanging around the bot lane, potentially looking for a gank. As the hook comes in on the Lulu, they're coming forward, and now Trundle's running up. They get the pillar to cut off Jad's dad, and he will fall to Arma. And now they're pushing in the lane, so they can either look for plates or a reset. Now we got Naya up top lane, getting jumped on by Fence, gets the ult down. And now it's a 2v1, but Flimsy takes out Cassiopeia. Zabel's trying to run him down, but can he catch up? Fence is picking up a second kill. Actually goes over to Vintage with the ult charges coming through, but Fence will not clean up the Poppy as she flashes out.
2 for none though. This Aatrox is going to be an absolute monster. I wouldn't doubt it if he rushed actually Duskblade rather than Eclipse. I saw it today. And a
very nice ult there from Kazuto, picking up his own solo bolo kill as the Trundle and Lulu had left to do the dragon, which they do pick up, but Kazuto showing he has the moves on Xayah. Although will get taken down by Trinity as he had very low health.
Unfortunate. Oh, he did pick up the Duskblade. I played against this today, and it is absolutely disgusting. It made me cry 12 times in languages I can't speak.
Yeah, Aatrox always liking to have that lethality, and now just going kind of the way of most assassins, where you pick whichever one does the most damage on the current patch.
Which I'm surprised, because Duskblade just got nerfed, and Eclipse was his main build to begin with.
Yeah. I'd have to look at the numbers, but I'm sure there's reasons. And now jumping in again, as he hits the third Q on the sweet spot. Already has a 2-level lead, gets stunned, but just gets pushed forward. Now Poppy trying to show up to save the Cassante, but gets the kill right before the Poppy ult goes off as he goes untargetable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Sable was doing pushed up so far against an Aatrox who's was 3-0 with an item advantage. I feel like that could have been, you know, fixed.
Yeah, it seemed like he was trying to engage to set up the ganks with the Poppy being there, but Poppy was still a little ways away.
Maybe miscommunication.
But Aatrox going into enemy jungle, dropping a ward, trying to scat out this Poppy, and Trundle walking down towards the bot side. They could look to pick up this Rift really at any time for the side of Titan Gaming Mux. They have a huge top side.
They have a huge every side.
That's true.
It's 2-10 right now.
Bot side's a little closer. Kazuto stayed even in farm and got those 2 kills to even up with Arma.
True, true. I do think that bot lane does, or sorry, the side of Ultralords, do you scale a little bit hard, but with Aphelios and a little trading in top lane, with Aphelios and Lulu being Aphelios and Lulu, they in themselves count as 3 champions.
Right. Oh, and here we see Vixper picking up Jad's dad as he gets Lulu ulted to stay alive. Kazuto ult comes through, but only roots the Lulu, doesn't get the damage down on Vixper. The stun comes through on Arma and does get picked up by Zolmor, and very well played, jumping in there, taking out the ADC. The flash Ghost coming in as Vixper will die to Naya. And now they're trying to run down the Lulu. Meanwhile, top lane, Aatrox still just poking at the Cassante under tower as he tries to farm.
He's starting the good old
Proxy. Benchage is trying to ult to help out that bot lane, but was a little late on the rotate as they're both heading back towards the mid lane. And
yeah,
crashing a big wave.
Vixper running in and, you know, on 20% HP didn't help the cause at all, I think. That was questionable, but I think his heart was in the right place, and that's all that matters.
They were feeling strong, but then Zolmorn had that really nice pick on Arma and really turned that fight. Looking like the Trundle and Aatrox are picking up this Rift Herald currently, as the game freezes slightly, but we get back into it.
It's okay. When the game froze, my pop fizzed. All the lanes are seeing like pretty safe CS standards, except for both top and jungle on the side of Ultralords.
Right.
Both of them are down at least 30 CS. So I'm kind of excited to see if Titan Gaming Mox will continue to play through top side and try and just get this flimsy fence Aatrox at like a solid lead, so he can just sit in side lane and bully anyone who comes.
Yeah, I would guess they're gonna keep him in the side lane, at least for the time being. We'll probably look to take at least the first tower before there's any thought of team fighting. Once he gets like 2 or maybe 3 items, that's when you can kind of become that team fighting Aatrox where you can 1v5 because you're so far ahead. But
yeah.
Ultralord's looking to try to scale up before that can happen.
Here we got
some more Qs coming down on Zabel, just getting a ton of poke as he's waiting for the wave to crash.
He really wants those grasp rocks at, you know, at the risk of his own death.
Hey man, we stacking. There we go, another pause.
Coming from a top laner?
I'm gonna go ahead and bump this back, so hopefully it stops pausing randomly. I mean, when you're getting out traded and you're getting the stacks, it's not great, but it's something you can tell yourself to make yourself feel better, you know?
Again, coming from a top laner.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why it's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't get why it's good for the sake of your own current health, right?
Yeah, like ideally you can do it without getting chunked, but if you don't die, it's okay. It only becomes a problem if you actually die.
True. Definitely true.
Oh,
More trading
looking
coming
like
out.
he might. Oh, the dash didn't come through to hit the sweet spot. That third
Ooh.
Q sweet spot might have just been a kill, but they are looking for this Dragon number 2 for Titan Gaming Mux.
The early game dragon stacking is going to come in super clutch, especially.
And
What will it be?
it
What's
will
the
be
dragon?
an Infernal Soul, so a pretty good
Ooh.
soul for them to be looking for.
Especially for Aphelios. That soul is nutty with his Infernum cannon.
Right.
Looks like just very standard basic play. Sable's playing pretty well for being behind, as far as behind as he is. Yeah, he's getting dove, but he's also, you know, he's not worth gold, so he's still farming up, and he's not as far behind as he should be against, you know, a flimsy fence Aatrox.
Right. Papa's here to help try to clear that wave, and looking like they're trying to send everyone top lane to kill this Aatrox. Trundle is in the area, so we'll have to see how this fight goes. Aatrox might just kill the Poppy, though, being 4 levels up on her.
Aatrox might just kill everybody.
There, the stun dot come through, though, the nice ult, and gets the huge shutdown onto the star walking Cassante.
Got star walked!
And here now we've got Jadzad looking for more. Doesn't look like they'll find him, as Trinity and Arma are hard pushing this bot lane since everyone is topside.
I'm so happy. Especially from a 0-5 deficit to come in and star walk on Aatrox and get the kill, that's huge for Sable.
For sure. First tower does fall to Arma, however, so they got a nice influx of gold onto their ADC in the meantime. And now Fence is TPing back to the top lane to defend that tower. We'll have to see how that shutdown will help Zabel in this lane, if it'll help him actually be able to fight, or if he'll keep on getting bullied once he buys. And while he's buying, this top tower will likely fall. Though he is staying to defend it, so he is kind of at a weak point.
This right here is greedy. I think I would have just given up the tower, honestly. I don't think it's that worth it.
Nah. Yeah, at this point you should just back. Looks like they're sending Nautilus and Poppy top once again, so we'll see if they can turn the kill. Sante is quite low and low on mana, however.
Aatrox does have ult backup though.
So here comes the ultimate from Nautilus. Misses the hook, but gets the stun on the wall. Here getting juggled as Kazuto also shows up trying to deal out this damage. Aatrox will get the double kill on Cassante and Nautilus, and Kazuto getting taken out by the pillar. Vixper chomping him down.
The flimsy fence Aatrox getting the double sweet spot for the double kill.
And yeah, now finally losing that tower kind of ended up being really bad for the side of Ultralords, where they spent a lot of money trying to defend the tower that was basically 50 health anyways, where they could have just backed and had the 1v1. But the flash in from Naya onto Arma Fidelium, but does fall. Those white chakrams do so much damage.
Red just keeps red side.
Got the re-engage from the Poppy, ulted the Trundle as they were trying to take out the tower, get the hook in, but now the third Q landing on 2 members as Zabel will fall once again to the Trundle. The Poppy will fall also to Vixper's Trundle, and now trying to run under tower against Kazuto, gets saved by the Lulu ultimate. As they're going to keep pushing this wave, and Fence just ults to run at Kazuto, hits the second Q, hits the third Q, gets the kill. You shut him down the one time, but he's still huge.
I'd hate to say it. At this point, it's looking pretty grim for the side of Ultralords.
Yeah,
it's 5-19. This Aatrox is the biggest thing you could ever imagine.
And in the meantime, where those huge 4v4s were going the way of Titan Gaming Box, we had Arma win the 1v1 against Naya and also get 2 towers. So you've also got a exceedingly fed Aphelios now. So it is very scary now to fight anyone for Ultralords.
I agree. They have to look for picks and where it's like 5 versus
Dark
1.
Lord on the map. You're right. Now they're looking to pick up this Rift Herald. Should be able to pick that up and run over to that dragon to get themselves on Soul Point. And really should be able to set up whatever kind of push they want to go for. They could 5-man it and just try to end the game right away, or they could keep splitting because we have a huge Aatrox who you need at least 3 members to fight.
I think they're going to use it to open up mid, because that's going to be the point of, you know, it's just where you win games.
Right. A nice stun from Poppy, but the third Q came through as he got stunned, and they take out Poppy before she can get to the safety of the tower. Zabel trying to take out a tower in the top lane, but meanwhile they are losing mid towers to the Rift Herald charges.
I do like the fact that Aphelios, even being 3 and 2, still has 2 full items plus boots, and is just dishing out damage.
Pillared taken out on the Nautilus, a big ult from the Cassiopeia to stop them running in and killing, but they do take out the mid inhibitor, and now will back off and go for that dragon. Set themselves up for soul if they need it. Cassante is able to pick up the top tower in the meantime, but a lot more was lost on the other side.
It's like Aatrox is backing to stop this Cassante as well.
Could be a time where if they could get there, maybe Ultralords could find a couple picks, but still it'll be very tough. And looks like they won't get there in time.
Especially since Flimsy still has teleport as well. I feel like he wouldn't go his way.
Yeah, just very much in control of this game one Titan Gaming box. So we will see if they're able to stall it out on the side of Ultralords and get their scaling in. But it's gonna take a lot of kind of controlled, measured play and just denying the engage, which they haven't been able to do so far.
Especially since the fact that almost everyone on Titan Gaming Mox is 2 levels ahead besides the mid lane and bot lane.
Right. Nice stun there from Poppy as the drone gets hooked by Nautilus. They have a 4v2. The Cassante ults.
Starwalk!
Flimsy over the wall, but then jumps out as Aatrox is fine, just doing damage in that backline. Trundle takes out both Cassante and Xayah. Aatrox takes out the Cassiopeia and now is teleporting to that mid lane as the Baron will fall to the rest of the team, and I think this will just be Titan Gaming Box closing out game number 1.
I'll have to agree with you there. It's such a huge deficit, it reminds me of our games. Just sad.
Wow. It's flaming our own too. And now as they have the Baron buff, they're running up. Flimsy's already here working on the towers. Gets ulted by Jad's dad. Will get rooted, but he doesn't have any damage to follow up yet. The rest of the team has not spawned. And now, oh, that Q does half the health of the Nautilus.
One does not simply stop the fence. The fence just keeps going.
He's able trying to help hold it off, but they just take so much damage. There's too much money on the side of Titan Gaming's Mox, and they take the victory at 22 minutes for game number 1. Well played to them.
That's rough.
It was well played by them.
I hope they come back. I hope Ultralords comes back.
Flimsy
And
with
bring in a new strategy.
a casual 31,000 damage.
Where everyone else is at 10k.
10, 1, and 10. Just a ridiculous showing on this Aatrox. Got that early lead and ran with it. Yeah. Just gonna have to see how they want to change up the draft, potentially take away that Aatrox, but see what the plan is for game number 2 when we get on into it.
That I am excited for.
But yeah, congratulations to everyone who had predicted Titan Gaming Mox. You get a nice little payout in the channel points.
Rip my 3,000 points.
Had them at one point and now they're gone. I just gotta build them back up.
True. I'll spend my remaining 224 on them.
True. Oh, what am I? Oh, were you the only one who had voted? You got all the points there, Blitz.
Give them back.
He's a rich boy.
He's robbing his friends blind, just saying.
Seems like it. Alright. As long as I know who has my points, I know they'll go to a good home, you know?
Will they though? Will they?
Of course.
I'm not so sure about that one.
4.9k. Very nice.
I'm proud of you. You've made it into my heart and soul. Of stealing it from me, how dare you?
Well, as I'm waiting to get invited to this next lobby, I'll toss it to another quick break for us, so we'll catch you in a little bit.
Toodles, my noodles.
And we are back after that game 1 action.
It was very spicy. It was super spicy.
Thank you, Bentage, for tossing that prime sub our way. We appreciate it. Very well played that game number 1. And we're still waiting on a couple, or I think one more person to jump into this lobby, and then we'll get into the draft once again.
Playing rock, paper, scissors. No big deal.
Have a couple of swaps for the side of Ultra Lords. They're sending Max or Naya or Joker, whatever you want to call him, to the top lane. They're tossing Kazuto back into the mid lane and putting Zabel in the ADC position. And Ultra Lords will be taking the red side for game number 2. So looking like they want to change up the lane matchups, see if they can't have a better game number 2.
You ever think about calling, Max, Naya, Joker, and Money jokes? You know?
I haven't, but it's definitely an
I
option.
mean, we gotta call him something.
I'll just call him Max.
There's too many names. There's just too many.
Let me mess with this lineup now. We can talk about it as they get ready.
So is Zabel going AD carry now?
He is.
That'll be interesting.
Not sure what kind of champs he has in the AD carry role, so it'll be interesting to see what he ends up playing. Oh, he calls him Toe because he has a special character.
We out here struggling on the real.
I struggle. What do you mean? There we go. Alright, so this is our lineup for game number 2. And we'll see what they're trying to pull out.
Yeah, no, I was really excited to see Max Gaming, pull through, Vantage hold his own against Nia, and ball lane of Arma and Trinity actually do so well against the ball lane of Kazuto and Jadstad. They played it really well and held their positioning really well, so it just kind of gave room for Flimsy to do whatever without having to worry about the rest of his team.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like that first game also kind of got out of hand just from Flimsy doing so well in that one early gank. If he hadn't gotten that huge lead right away, might not have snowballed as hard. But we will see how the swap ups helped him out for this game number 2.
100%. And even though Sable was behind, he was holding his own perfectly well. He wasn't going out into lane 1v1ing him at every turn, right? He was sitting in a tower waiting, chilling, farming up, being a good boy, top laner essentially, right?
Yeah. And we got the draft made up. Titan Gaming might just be taking a couple minutes to figure out what they want to ban before they start it up. Do you think they will ban away Aatrox this game? Oh, here we go. We're getting into the draft, so I'll toss it over there for us.
I do think they will, honestly. It was a big problem. I wouldn't be surprised if they just triple banned Flimsy and just call it a day.
Right. Yeah, it could work out. They're trying to spread it around, but if he's got that much in the tank, let's take away the big carries and see what they can do. Maximus Decimus Viridius.
Yeah, I read that. I didn't. I wasn't gonna read that. I would have
a good
messed
reference.
up every pronunciation.
Gladiator is a great movie, and here Ultra Lords taken away that Darius. We got the Cassio and Tristana taken away by Titan Gaming Mux.
Is it gonna be a triple ban Flimsy?
We'll see. At Xerath, yes, Bentage had a very good game on that Xerath game 1, so I like that ban. Give him a little less range and safety in the mid lane.
He did. I was very impressed with Bentage. He impressed me very much so. He held his own against Naya. Didn't mess up a lot.
And then
Even got solo killed.
for Titan Gaming Max. Take away some of that mobility, and we'll see what ban number 3 ends up being.
I feel like they gotta ban the Aatrox. It's more scary than the Gnar. I feel like it.
It's either they want to ban the Aatrox or they want to, or they have a counter planned from
And they do
Max.
have Nia playing and not Naya.
Yeah,
Money hurts.
and they want to take away
Theater
Vixsphere's
again.
Meteor. Still a good ban, still a champ that Vixsphere very much likes. And they might be thinking they can just get more top bans in round 2, since Fence likely. Did Ultra Lords win game 1? No. Titan Gaming
Titan
Mox
Gaming
won
Max.
game number 1. And
It
the
was
Nautilus pick up
5-27.
for the Titan Gaming Mox.
I kind of like them taking away the Nautilus, but at the same time, they have a new 80 carries, so I don't know if they're playing weak side or strong side in bot lane. So it could just be them planning to draft for strong side bot lane on the side of playing Gaming Box.
Yeah, go with the
Leona.
Leona, so 2 engages, looking for some fights in the spot lane. I'm gonna hold off how I feel on the Nautilus until I see what ADC they pair with it.
Yeah,
I know Trinity generally likes more of the
soft
enchanters,
supports.
so
Yeah,
just gotta see how it goes. Leona Ezreal, so
I don't like that matchup at all.
yeah, it's like
I
your support wants to all in and Ezreal just wants to poke, but it could be
I
one where
mean,
they leave Ezreal to farm safely bot and have Leona roam.
don't get me wrong. I play Ezreal really aggressive because you know my play style. It's just aggressive, right?
You
So
never.
yeah, no, me never.
Caitlyn.
If I'm playing Ezreal, I understand. I can do that because I'm usually just fighting as Ezreal in general. But most people don't do that. They play safe, 24/7.
Right. I like the
So
Caitlyn with the Nautilus. If you hit the hook and the root, you can set it up with a trap underneath and get a lot of damage. So it should be
yeah,
a pretty good combo. I like that bot combo more than the Leona Ezreal. I think the
yeah,
Ezreal, you just have to plan for roaming from Leona though, so we'll have to see if that is effective.
I gotta agree with you. Especially the trap EQ combo.
Ooh, but
It's a really
they
nasty comp.
they do get the Gangplank for Naya slash Max, so gets his main champion in that top lane, and a Volibear who could be jungle or top.
I'm kind of getting the hint of jungle now that Gangplank top.
Yeah, and it seems like a champion that Vixper would like as well.
I agree.
Ultralord's taking out that Renekton once again, still don't want to see that. A Rise taken away, don't want Kazuto on his Rise.
Where's the Vigar ban? Give it to me.
Are they going to take out the Aatrox or leave it up? Take out the Gnar. I think that's a better one when you have the Gangplank since you're just poking with the Qs anyways. Oh, and they take away the Emperor, no Azir for the mid
So
lane
what
as
do I
well.
feel like Kazuto just picks Vigar because it's open again?
It could be a good one for him. It's also one that Vantage likes to play. They're going for their jungler right here in the Sejuani. Or at least they're hovering it.
I like the Sejuani, especially since they have 3 melee champions with that. It's
Yeah,
a lot of pass to procs.
sets them up really well when ganks do happen, and they do go for the Kale.
Oh, the Kale came
So,
out.
got scaling versus scaling top laners.
I'm kind of interested to see how that matchup will go. I wonder if Flimsy will end up playing safe in the early levels, or if he'll play the aggro that Kale can do, but most people, you know, forget about.
Normally it works out for Kale if the melee person comes and hits, and I think Gangplank more just sits back and only tries to Q. So it'll depend on if Max tries to go up and actually fight.
It's the Bentage
The
mid.
Morgana for Vintage gets his signature champion for game number 2.
It's the Vigar, right? It has to be the Vigar.
Um, there are some options. He's got a big enough pool. Could be Vigar. Could look for like a Cassidon if he wants to go super late.
True. It
Look
would
for
also
more
give
of a
them
team
another
fighter
melee.
one if they want like Victor. It will be Karthus.
Arthas.
Going for that hard scaling in the mid lane.
That was the last thing I ever expected, I gotta be real with you.
Yeah, it wasn't really, but it should be able to deal with the push Morgana gets fairly well, and shouldn't really be afraid of getting killed, unless if you're getting ganked, so should be a fairly safe pick.
Kinda curious now if it's Ezreal mid and Karthus block.
Could be. I'll have to see where they pick stuff up as they get into the actual draft.
We'll get there one day, no big deal. I definitely think that I'm kind of favoring Ultralord's Nia top lane to get a little bit more of a lead in the top side, depending on if Sejuani actually ganks.
Right.
Because if it's stuck in a mirror matchup, not a mirror matchup, a no gank, you know, leave them on an island, I see them just going pretty evenly. With Kale like down a couple of CS, right?
You don't have to be afraid of me.
And now I started back up a prediction for game number 2, so get those points in if you'd like to gamble on the second game.
I don't want to vote this time. I've been robbed once already.
I've been robbed. I feel like this time Titan Gaming Box have more of the engage. They've got CC from Voli, Nautilus, and Morgana, and then kind of long range carries in the late game Kale and the Caitlyn. Whereas it's a lot of poke and then Gangplank trying to blow you up late. So I feel like they have 2 engaged champs in Leona and Sejuani who don't really have anyone else who wants to dive in that much. So it'll kind of be interesting to see how they play it out.
Yeah. They have to play front to back, but it's really hard to do that with, you know, a Karthus, Gangplank, and Ezreal, since nobody wants to be in range ever for anything.
Right.
I mean,
while they
besides Karthus, just chain hinting.
While they are doing the draft, anyone around who's got those Prime subs sitting around, we had Benchage toss a Prime sub our way, which we appreciate. So if anyone else has them available, we would love to have them sent our way.
I'd love you till Tuesday.
We'll give you 30 days of love at least.
They will, I won't. I'll love you till Tuesday.
That's still a couple days of love. It's pretty cheap.
Hey, it's more than most people get, so you gotta take it.
True. We had our great King Beardcleys add some nice exclamation point commands to our channel, so you can do merch, merch Discord and YouTube. Merch sends you to the merch store. YouTube sends you to the YouTube if you want to see any of the VODs, and Discord if anyone's watching not in the Discord and you're interested in joining, just do exclamation Discord and can see the info on how to join the league.
My god, Sugoi, it's so pretty. Do it now. Cheers.
But here I'll toss to another quick pause as we wait for the game to load in for us, and we'll be right back.
You land on. The earth is just a dead thing
And we are back and loading into the game for game number 2 of the quarterfinals game between Titan Gaming Mux and Ultra Lords.
I gotta tell you, that song is an absolute banger. I loved every
it is.
second of it.
Peyton Parrish is just so good. He is fantastic. If you enjoy any of the songs we play, they're all by Peyton Parrish. Check him out. He's great.
Standard buys coming in from everyone. Nothing spicy.
A lot of pings coming out once again from the side of Ultra Lords. Looking like they're gonna try another invade, though. Looking like Zolmorin's not at his computer right now. There he is. Now he's moving. Oh, here's the pause.
It looks like a standard start.
Yeah, a standard start from Titan Gaming Box. Vixper's still on the fountain, however, so maybe they're waiting on him. Perhaps that was the pause that came out.
Possibly. Otherwise, kind of like our team, you know, we like to take mid-game pre-breaks. We do it often. No big deal.
I'm getting flamed by my own teammate after we're done.
Hey, we're eliminated. We're not teammates anymore. I can flame whoever.
Wow.
Wow.
Here I thought we were tight.
We are, just not in teammate sense.
True. But
I definitely hold your hand walking down the street, though.
That's good. Here we're back into the game, but whenever it pauses, it kind of backs up. I'll just do this initially to hopefully avoid random pauses once again.
Much faith, much believe.
No, Riot's got a pretty good client, you know. They're high quality.
I'd like to make the meme of them being a small indie gaming company once again, but I feel like it's been overused.
Yeah, you can never ever use it too much because it's always true.
True. Preach.
But hopefully everybody got their votes in with the channel points. And we'll see some first bloods coming out. Kazuto landing the first Q as he gets a little bit of the what was it?
Mark W.
Morg W. Forget the name of it. Tormented
I
Soil.
forgot the name of it too. Tormented Soil, it sounds right, yeah.
I believe that's what it is.
I've never called abilities by their names, so YOLO.
Looks like they opted to not invade and will be a pretty standard start. Got Voli starting in that top side, Sejuani starting on the bot side, so we'll see how these initial ganks work out once they finish their earthy paths.
I am gonna give my bet to Ultra Lords, honestly. Volibear is a really good ganker if it's set up properly, especially with the follow-up from Nautilus with exhaust. Pretty solid.
Oh, getting a little bit of poke down. We see that new start for Gangplanks where they just start the barrels instead of Q. Get a little bit of damage down. Yeah, Voli's got a nice gank path in mid and bot with the hook and the binding. For top, might need to be more of a counter gank. But
There's a lot of
how they pan out.
a lot of good level 1 trading on the side of Ultra Lord, or sorry, not Ultra Lords, Titan Gaming Box as well, especially from bot side.
Right.
Missed the hook, still land the auto and the Q. It's worth it.
They're getting a ton of great trading here from Arma. Zable's down to half health. And the Sejuani is actually coming up to flash in, the flash away. They can just get the nut, but gets the E, flash in, a knock up onto Arma. They need one more auto to get that permafrost, and they do get the first blood onto Zable's Ezreal. Now they're trying to go for Trinity on this Nautilus. Gets the flash out and will survive as Vixper shows up, and now getting jumped on 3v2, but they're both very low. Get the shield off, the tower shot comes through, Zolmorn will fall, but so will the volley, but so does Ezreal, but he gets executed. So 2 for 1 in actual tills to the team. A lot of action in this bot lane already.
Unfortunately, Arma cleansed the E instead of the Q coming out from Leona. So he just got stunned, followed with a Sejuani Q into an E, or into a W, and then the frozen from the E. And it was pretty much gank secured from there.
Yeah, really well played. I thought once the double flash had come out, Armor was gonna get away. They just would need to kill the Nautilus, but Jad's dad landing that great E, picking up a bunch of kills, getting Ezreal a nice little early lead, and has the Sheen already, so despite not having as much all-in potential, gonna have a ton of good poke with that Sheen done.
Surprisingly, top lane is going the side of Kale in the early game, but mainly because Kale is focusing on farm and destroying barrels, where Gangplank is focusing on poke. But Kale just has W, and she'll just heal it all up with the Doran Shield passive regen.
Yep, a smart start, and just focusing using W to not get poked out a good way, because Kale just needs to survive until level 6 in this lane, and then once she hits level 6, it's not bad for her, because then instead of having to use E to take out barrels, you can just auto them from range.
True.
But for Gangplank also, Max just looking to scale up, get his Sheen item down so he can actually deal enough poke damage for it to matter.
It's definitely a battle of the scaling right now from both sides. In majority of the lanes, it is a nice barrel combo coming out from Max though.
Yeah, for sure. Sejuani looking in this top lane, but as Flimsy's looking for a reset. Does not go back though, because it looks like this Gangplank will have the freeze, but sees the Sejuani on the ward.
Looks
Play
like
respectful. A nice hook in from Trinity, landing on Jad's dad. Jad's dad goes through and the Caitlyn gets hit on a trap though.
what a
She tried to
trap!
walk away and will get taken down by the headshot. Well
That trap
played.
was very clean.
Another
They're
nice
still
hook
not
from
done.
Trinity. Trinity getting all these hooks right now.
Boom. Headshot.
Nice.
That trap was clean. Clean, clean, clean.
Yeah, very well played.
The follow-up coming from it as well was also clean. The hook followed into Caitlyn walking up and getting free headshot damage after the patch. It's so nice.
Right. Ooh, an all-in coming out from Vintage. Katsu flashing away, but will still be stuck. Gets bound and is in the tormented soil and will burn down. Katsu trying for this ultimate, not gonna take out Vintage, and no one else was low enough, so
The god Bentage himself.
does not receive any kills from that first ultimate.
Bentage has played so well during this series. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, he's killing it. Katsu definitely looking to try to scale up, but getting that solo bolo onto Vintage early. Looking insane, looking like this man wants to get his salary increased.
I think it is. Oh, the trading from Kale, level 6 Kale with ulti. And the
Flash
dive.
in, gets the kill. Very well played. Maintained the ult range for the burst damage to come through and is able to flash and walk through tower. Gets the solo bolo for Flimsy.
It's gonna be very huge for Flimsy, especially on Kale, considering it takes one item to get her to her mid power spike, and two to actually hit deep. It's just getting any kill here or there is accelerating her so much.
Right. Yep. Kale also having the level 2 boots rush, which is pretty standard for Kale, allowing her to stay in range for Gangplank in that level fight. Movement speed is indeed OP.
Still ahead 10 CS as well, so.
Ooh, nice hook. Blocked by Jad's dad, but able to get some damage down.
Mid lane's doing pretty well. Bentage is down, you know, 13 CS, fucking.
Max looking for this kill onto Kale, but cannot catch up, still does not have boots. And Volibear is showing up, there is no orange now, so see if you can't get the stun down to secure this kill. So you're gonna ult the tower, he does, looking for the takedown and gets it onto Voli. Ulting the tower to shut it down and chomps him with the W.
Very good gank. There's no vision on the side of top side for Nia, and Volibear abused the fact and came in from behind and got in for free.
Alright, a nice trade down, but Jad Dad's trying to engage with Zolmorn in the area, a flash away from Trinity. The ult misses from Sejuani, and they are now trading back with the range advantage.
Arma is placing these traps like a genius, I gotta tell you.
He's
At
a
least
straight mad lad.
and two members of the enemy team for Ultra Lords walked into traps there, and those traps are the only reason Trinity got out as free as she
Oh,
did.
flashing from Vintage, going for the immediate ultimate with the black shield on. Here's Zolmorn is showing up to help out Kazuto, looking to secure a kill, but Vintage will get out.
Sadly, Kazuto didn't have any money to follow up, or
Mana.
mana. I mean, technically both, but
Oh, a flash over the wall after a root, and Vintage picks up the kill onto the enemy jungler. And it's playing fantastic in this series. Oh, in a very close fight, Flimsy takes down Naya in the top lane. Just everything falling away of Titan Gaming Mox this series.
yeah, it's definitely they're playing out of their minds. I'll give it to them. Even the
Looking great.
dive with both of bot lane coming out alive and getting the
Ooh,
kill.
Gets the trade kill, gets the ult down from Kazuto before Trinity came back, picking up a kill for himself.
Is this the start of the Kazuto scaling arc? Is
Really?
it happening?
It's tough because they need to slow down and get to the scaling for Karthus and Ezreal and Gangplank, but they also don't want to slow down and get to scaling because they have a Cal on the other side who is ridiculous after level 16. So it's a very odd game for Ultralords to play out.
To be fair, even before level 16, if a Kale farms correctly, all you need on Kale is 2 items, and that usually comes around level 12.
Yeah.
So
like
you'll have your second ascension.
Level 12, like, gets her to be a good champion, and if you're farmed up, then you're gonna be scary. Level 16 is like, you just do true damage to everyone.
Yeah, and your range increases, so you just get to stay a little bit further back rather than be in the middle of everyone, right?
Another nice root coming out from Vintage, just getting poke damage down once again.
It is him, the Bentage.
Yeah, they had a couple weeks where Titan Gaming Mox was looking rough because Flimsy was in between places moving, but is now back into the house and has internet that works once again and is showing up for his team.
He definitely showed up both series. Oh, the dive. The super dive.
The flash away, the ult to take out the tower.
I feel sorry for Sable. That's brutal. That's just bullying at that point. You take him to tier 2 with ulti on Volibear, that's mean.
Yeah, there's no escape, and now they're giving over first tower to Arma and Trinity. And it's looking like this next dragon will spawn in 30 seconds, so I might go ahead and pick that up as Zolmorn and Jad's Dad are looking to pick up this Rift Herald.
Yeah, that tower felt like my LP. Fast.
Oof.
This Rift Herald will be good for a for the side of Titan Mox Gaming as well. Sorry, not Titan Mox Gaming. Ultra Lords. It's gonna help them stabilize a little bit more and help them lead into the scaling that they need to actually bring the game back into their direction.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks like they're setting up a gank.
Yeah, this is what I felt like they needed with the Leona Ezreal bot anyways, but it kind of feels like all the lanes for Titan Gaming Mox is already ahead, but we'll see how this gank goes as the E does land, gets the stun down. Kalo comes out as Gangplank also drops the ult. They have enough damage to take the kill down. Ooh, and almost Ezreal to pick up that dragon. Good try, but Volley does smite it away. And now looking to get some gold onto Max here as the tower will not kill him, but it was very close. Kazuto running away as the rest of the enemy team is chasing him down.
Riggedy sweet, Trinity's
land
after your booty.
that hook. The ultimate comes through as the Tormented Soil picks up the Karthus for Vintage. And now Zolmorn trying to run for their life as they are rooted, hooked, and taken down once again by Vintage. 4-0-0 for this man in the mid lane.
Yeah, Bentage is definitely increasing his lead by a lot, especially with these kills. He's only down 16 CS as well. So he's gonna have such a nice item lead that he won't have to worry about being side lane to deal with the gangplank. He could do it himself, honestly. Never mind the Kale, who's already ahead into that side lane matchup as well.
Right. Now Vixper trying to run down Max there in the top lane, flashes away to avoid the stun. But the Kale is pushing this tower, looking to take it down.
It's definitely a good
damage
flash.
quite yet. A nice barrel gets some damage down. Now Jad's dad is here, but not the 2v2 they want. Kazuto is in the area in case a fight does break out. They're looking for the volley. Again, the stun down. The wall is down from Karthus, and they're trying to take him out as he flashes away. Looking like he will escape. Karthus ult is not up.
He comboed it properly to where he actually got the shield before he ulted. So he had the additional health and the shield to make sure he lived through whatever autos or burst was coming through at that time.
Yeah, it was really well played, but meanwhile, with the play in the top lane, Arma and Trinity pushed down that mid tier 1. Picking up another tower for themselves, and now sitting on about a 6k gold lead for Titan Gaming.
Yeah, Titan Gaming Mox at this point can definitely pull off like a very smart 1-3-1 and not have to worry about much. And just scale until Kill is a predominant being where she just takes over the entire game.
Right. They were rotating up to try to pick off this final tier 1 tower, a TP out from Kazuto to dissuade that tower following. And now they get the charge off to chunk a little bit of health off the mid tier 1 and Solmorn. Looks like they DC'd.
Oh, the disconnect.
They get a pause out.
Nope, they did not pause.
Oh, there's the pause. Highly unfortunate.
Weird can.
Yeah. Unfortunate there. Solmorn falls with the DC.
And there's the pause.
Now the game's got to figure itself out because there was like a half-second pause.
Rito Clan OP. Nah, Kid Boo OP? Not in this game, but apparently his underling is in it.
Kid Boo is ever present. Hopefully this thing will fix itself. There we go. And now Arma and Trinity pushing this mid wave. Gangplank ulting to clear the wave, but will now have less power in the fight against Kale.
How hard do you think this Kazuto is going to scale on Karthus?
Karthus basically always scales really well, no matter what. He just kind of needs to get 3 items, so it all depends on if they can stall the game long enough. Picking up this kill would be huge. The game pauses once again, but the kill goes to Jad's dad. It's very tragic.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
A good kill pickup, but would have been ideal for Kazuto to have gotten it.
Especially being one of the harder scaling teammates on their team.
Yeah, they have 3 really hard scalers in the Gangplank, Karthus, and Ezreal. It's just if they can keep their base alive by the time they get to their scaling.
Yeah, and the buffs to Caitlyn.
Every DC is Kid Boo in spirit. That's true.
True though. The buffs to Caitlyn also make it also make her a really good scaler with the 5th headshot now instead of the 6th.
Right.
She has more presence in team fights, especially since they also buffed her damage on headshots. She's become one of the scalers you don't expect to see, but she's there, right?
Right.
Kind of like Lucian now. Like his short range.
Vixford is running down Kazuto. Kazuto unable to get away, but they have the damage coming down. Gangplank is here, and they pick up that kill for Gangplank. Good job showing up to save the mid laner.
That was a very good rotation, especially since Dragon is coming up in 10 seconds, or is up now, sorry.
They do have Fence still pushing this top wave that Kazuto is trying to go and answer, but they're giving Kale more free time to scale up even harder. as
The dragon.
the rest of the team is picking up this dragon number 2. The binding will miss, but they do pick it up as 2 towers fall. The mid and top tier 2 both fall to Titan Gaming. And a nice route onto Jad's dad as Vintage walks away.
That damage is actually kind of getting strong.
Yeah,
Jad's
it's,
dad almost died from the QW.
it's a little silly. A nice combo lands onto Vintage.
The trip barrel, like to see it.
Jad's dad waiting in the wings, but
Hit
we'll
you.
get bound
There it is.
and we'll
W.
die. There's
Yep.
nothing you can do.
Oh, he's doing such good damage, actually.
Meanwhile, Titan Gaming picks up this second Rift Herald. So we'll be able to use that to try to get any push going they want. We'll see if they just drop it for a tower or if they wait for a team fight when to try to end the game.
Honestly, I think if the side of Titan Gaming Mox lose, it'll be really hard for Ultralords to do anything in terms of stalling that, especially with Rift Herald.
Right.
And I think that the only way that Ultralords can actually come back is if they delay the game and make smart picks through wards and CC through their Sejuani in the jungle and get kills onto their Ezreal, onto their Karthus, onto their Gangplank, the hard scalers who can actually, you know, show up and do some premium damage.
Yeah, I agree. It's getting tougher and tougher to see how they're going to be able to stall it out, but they do still have that chance. They just got to find those picks or just have enough wave clear to avoid all the engage on the side of Titan Gaming. The plan for the update for the full league will be in the Seer, probably closer to next weekend, Bulgaria. I'm hoping we can stream all of the quarterfinal games, so I don't want to spoil them all before we stream them. Here we got an engage from Zolmor in bot lane. They're jumping on Flimsy and do pick up the kill. It goes over to the Gangplank, gets a nice shutdown. The rest of Titan Gaming is going for this Baron, but Zabel's over the wall looking for his snipe. Will not be able to get it. Now Kazuto's getting run at as the Black Shield stops the stun. They do walk away.
Black Shield.
They pick up the Baron. They're going to be able to clear out this Rift Herald before it charges, but they will now have to fend off Baron-powered waves for a couple minutes.
Did they use Rift in their last engage?
They used it mid before they started Baron.
Okay, gotcha.
Arma getting jumped on, getting permafrosted by Zolmor, now is cut off and should fall here. Zabel.
Oh!
Oh no, the flash Q missed. Oh my gosh, the outplays. And now Flimsy TP's in and will take down Jad's dad. Oh, that was so tragic. They had the pick onto Arma and they don't quite get him and then lose 3 in the process.
They tried to give the kill to the Ezreal, but in doing that, they just Caitlyn got headshots. That's all I can say. Caitlyn got
Coming
headshots
down immediately onto Gangplank, cleanses it, but was knocked up. Now is stunned inside of the shield and takes down the Nautilus, but falls to Volibear as now Kazuto gets taken down by Fence and Vixper. And they are burning down this mid tower. The Ezreal comes through, does not quite land, and Vixper gets the ultimate as Zolmor has to run away. Vixper picks up the kill on Zabel picks up the kill on the Vixper. Jad's dad is being burned down by Fence as well.
There's the kill.
Whew. That was a lot of kill damage, but Arma picked up all 3 of those kills, and now they will take out this inhib.
This might be game.
Oh, Kazuto has left the game, and they did indeed just forfeit.
That wasn't the game.
Well, really well played there by Titan Gaming Mox, picking up the 2-0 victory and moving on to the semis for their series.
Very nice, very nice indeed.
15k
Well
and
played.
16k, 5-0 and 1 unkillable on the Bentage in the mid lane. Very well played them.
The Bentaga.
Let me toss up a poll so we can get the MVP vote out here.
Good series, says Bentage. It was a good series for you. You played really well. I'm impressed.
I'm killing it.
He was indeed feeling it. The playoffs power up, if you will.
Alright, here comes the poll. You got 2 minutes to vote on the MVP, and if they're around, we'll pull them in for a quick post-game interview. Got that 2-0 victory for Titan Gaming Mux. Well played to you. Well played Ultralords, putting up a good fight, but got taken down.
So, does this league have a losers bracket, or was that just it for Ultralords?
No, we don't do the losers bracket. It's just if you lose, you are eliminated. So that is it for Ultralords. Here I can pull up the bracket and see who would be coming up. There we go.
So, since Ultralords is now eliminated, sorry
So we'd
boys.
have Titan Gaming Mox going against either Rolling Stoners or Night Raid, depending on who wins that one, and then the winner of God Kings of Velocity versus the winner of Big Wheel and Titan's Wrath for the semifinals coming up. Not going to do any spoilers on the winners of the other series, as I'll be looking to get those all streamed throughout the week if possible.
I'm excited to catch such bangers.
But yeah, Titan Gaming Mox we know will be right here as they're trying to make it to the finals themselves. See how these votes are going. Looking like Bentage. So Bentage, if you're around, I will pull you up to stream. Let's see. There it is. Alright. Yeah. Hello, Bentage.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing? Really well played tonight. You were killing it.
Well, I mean, I didn't do much killing. I just did no dying.
You did a fair amount of killing. You were 5-0-1. The second game, Unkillable Demon King.
Yeah, it was a good series. I enjoyed it. I liked how Kazuto decided that he was going to go out, best foot forward and running it mid. That Karthus is scary.
Yeah, I was not expecting that Karthus, but you played really well into it as soon as you hit level 6, going for those ultimate plays, trying to pick up those kills.
Now, the trick is to mitigate that early by watching his bar and not mine, and Wing every time as soon as his first strike came off cooldown.
Right.
Yeah. I know I was I was like, look at that, he's got 15 gold at 20 minutes on it.
Smart play. Did you guys have any specific plans coming into this week since we're up against Ultralords, or did you just kind of play it out standard?
And I will say our game planning happens about 15 minutes before draft.
The classic.
Yes. Vixper works crazy hours, and we know Fence is, building his brand and doing his thing. So, like, us real people that have all the time in the world to game, we're still just bad at it. There's not a lot of coordination aside from game time. We just show up to play, and we go into Champ Select as a 5-man with a pretty decent strategy and what we want to draft around and what we don't want to see. And the switch on the Kazuto to go mid game 2 kind of tweaked it a little bit because we had to. I understandably we got the chance to rethink everything, but we completely forgot about the GP that we banned game 1 for a reason.
They're trying to pull the mind games and they got it through, but Fence was able
Yeah.
to play very well into it and got himself ahead on that kill.
Finch should have been the real MVP. How do you go 10-1 and 10 and put up more damage than the entire rest of your team combined?
Yeah, he just got very ahead. Bulk says he voted Trinity. Trinity's the real carry. There you go. But
Oh,
yeah.
Trent was doing work. Like we got done, and I was watching the stream there when Arma got engaged on by the Sejuani and everybody, and I got to watch that because I didn't get to watch it happen in game. And I was all hyped up because we were still in comms, and I was like, "Look at this Trinity doing the flash saves, and the Arma outplays. Like, you should have died 3 times, dude."
Yeah, you guys were just on point tonight, and you took it down. Janelle, you got any questions before we wrap it up?
I think you pretty much nailed every question I had, honestly. Other than, how did it feel, the difference of swapping from Neomid to Kazuto? Was there like a big change up in their play styles? You know, who felt a
Well,
little bit...
so the Cassiopeia Max, I think, is their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played really, really well, but not like as aggressive as I'm used to seeing a Cassiopeia player typically run. So I think it was more of a feeling out process there, a little more respect given. Whereas, as if you noticed, game 2, Kazuto, he does Kazuto things. He does not there, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't respect me in the mid lane either.
There you go.
And so I got to enjoy game 1 a little bit more because I wasn't constantly just like running away from Cassiopeia. Like I was constantly running away from Kazuto and just trying to poke him out a little bit every now and then with a little summonary and a W proc.
Right.
Apples to apples, mid laner to mid laner. They both were really solid. I would have absolutely hated had I had to play against that Max's Gangplank in the mid lane. I'm so thankful we banned that. That would have been game over right there. There's no world in which I could have played into Max's Gangplank and been fine.
Right. Well,
he really good on that Deadgum champion.
I got one final question. With you guys moving on to the semis, you'll be up against either the Rolling Stoners or Night Raid Owls. Do you have a preference in which team you end up facing?
Ooh, so let me think here. Now, early in the season, I was not a big fan of Rolling Stoners, but they have certainly shown that I was wrong. And NRO has had kind of like a roller coaster season. They've been up and down. I think momentum's going to play the big difference here. I think Rolling Stoners is coming in, showing as just a little bit stronger. I don't know how the games went tonight, obviously. So, momentum's going to be huge. If Rolling Stoners comes off a clean win, they're going to be incredibly tough to beat. And on the other side, if NRO just showed up and did what NRO is supposed to do, it's about execution, right? So if NRO is, it depends on what NRO we're getting, right? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure. I was saying if you either who you think you'll face or who you would prefer to face if you had a choice.
Well, so yeah, I would rather go against NRO because of how coin flippy they have been.
Ah, there you go.
So for my money, if they played really well tonight, that means they would have an off game next week.
I see. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Ideally, I'll get some more of those games streamed so we can check them out throughout the week.
Certainly. I look forward to them.
Thank you for joining us, and I'll send you back to your team chat while...
Oh, no, I'm done. I'm going to hop off and go play some Baldur's Gate.
Alright, well, enjoy. We'll catch
Y'all
you
have a
next
good one.
time.
Thanks again. Bye.
But, well, thank you, Janelle. Any closing thoughts for the series before we close this stuff out?
No, all these games were fantastic, and I enjoyed casting. Thank you for having me. Enjoy
sure.
stream.
Thank you all for coming and watching. We appreciate y'all being here. Again, if you have any primes you can toss our way, we will appreciate them and love you for 30 days. And we will say goodbye. Game 3 of Velocity. I don't want to break them up in between each other. I'll catch them as a full series, but if people are interested in watching it, I might jump in the general and spectate if you want to have a watch party in the Discord. But for this one, I'll close out the Twitch so I can keep all the other ones streamed together. But yeah, I will catch you all later and have a good night.
I never thought hiatus essential. They're crude and unspeakably plain. Maybe they've a gleam of potential. If I lied to my vision and brain. That your powers of retention are as what as a warthog's backside. As sick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expression. The lights are not all upstairs, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. For the chance of a lifetime, be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. Just listen to nature. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And justice deliciously squared. Be prepared. For what? For the death of the king. Why? Is he sick? No fool, we're gonna kill him. It's Simba too. Great idea. Who needs a king? No king, la 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 la. Idiots, there will be a king. Hey, but you said I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again. Is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main addressee, the point that I must emphasize is you won't get us left without me. So prepare for the coup of the century.